Hello everyone, it's 13th of March today and it's currently 5:45 am. Might be wondering why I'm so late. And that's just because I was thinking of skipping today. There is a reason behind it. I was busy. I was doing something else which mattered to me and I thought I should skip today because I have college in like 3 hours right now, after 3 hours. So this is just going to be a quick video about me reading for 20 minutes. I'll not waste any time because I have to sleep also. Okay, so let me set up the timer. I think today I'll set it up for I'll set it up for 21 minutes only. We were on page number 61. This is one of the most surprising insights about your habits. You don't need to be aware of the cue for a habit to begin. You can notice an opportunity to take action without dedicating consciousness, conscious attention to it. This is what makes habits useful. It's also what makes them dangerous. As habit form, your action come under the direction of your automatic and non-conscious mind. You fall into old patterns before you realize what's happening. Unless someone points it out, you may not notice that you cover your mouth with your hand whenever you laugh, that you apologize before asking a question, or that you have a habit of finishing other people's sentences. And the more you repeat these patterns, the less likely you become to question what you are doing and why you are doing it. I once heard of a retail clerk who was instructed to cut up empty gifts. Gift cards, after customers had used up the balance of the card. One day, I'm not able to understand anything I'm reading. I'm just going through. Should I do this? Unless you You don't need to be aware of the cue for a habit to begin. You can notice an opportunity and take action without dedicating conscious attention to it. This is what makes habit useful. It's what makes them dangerous too, because you can fall into bad habits too. In similar way, you fall into old pattern. You realize before you realize what's happening unless someone points it out. And the more you repeat these patterns, the less likely you will be come to question what you are doing and why you are doing it. I once heard of a retail clerk who was instructed to empty carts. One day, the clerk crashed out few the clerk crashed out a few customers. The clerk cashed out. How much again? Did I just said one line for like 2 3 times, or is it just me imagining? The clerk cashed out few customers in a row who purchased. The clerk cashed out a few customers in a row who purchased with gift cards. When the next person walked up, the clerk swiped the customer's actual credit card, picked up the scissors and then cut it in half. Oh, entirely on autopilot. Before looking up at the stunned customer and realizing what had just happened, another woman I came across in my research was former preschool teacher who had switched to a corporate job. Even though she was now working with adults, her old habits would kick in, and she kept asking coworkers if they had washed their hands after going to the bathroom. I also found the story of a man who had spent years working as a lifeguard and would occasionally yell "walk" whenever he saw a child running. Over time, the cues that spark our habits become so common that they are essentially invisible. The treats on the kitchen counter, the remote control next to the couch, the phone in our pocket. Our response to these cues are so deeply encoded they, that it may feel like the urge to act comes from nowhere. For this reason, we must begin the process of behavior change with awareness. Before we can effectively build new habits, we need to get a handle on our current ones. This can be more challenging than it sounds because once a habit is firmly rooted into your life, it is mostly non-conscious and automatic. If a habit remains mindless, you cannot expect to improve it. As the psychologist Carl Jung said, you will make the unconscious conscious. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. I understood that. The habit scorecard. The Japanese railway system is regarded as one of the best in the world. If you ever find yourself riding a train in Tokyo, you'll notice that the conductors have a peculiar habit. As each operator runs the train, they proceed through a ritual of pointing at different objects and calling out commands. When the train approaches a signal, the operator will point it and say, "Signal is green." As the train pulls into out of the station, the operator will point at the speedometer and call out the exact speed. But it's time to leave, the operator will point out at the timetable and state the time. On the platform, other employees are performing similar actions before each train departs. Staff members will point along the edge of the platform and declare "all clear." Every detail is identified, pointed at, and named aloud. This process is known as pointing and calling, a safety system designed to reduce mistakes. It seems silly, but it works incredibly well. Pointing out and calling reduces error by 85% and cut accident by 30%. The MTA subway system in New York City adopted a modified version that is point only within 2 years of implementation. Incidents of incorrect birth fell 57%. Pointing and calling is so effective because it raises the level of awareness from non-conscious habit to more conscious level. Because the train operator must use their eyes, hands, mouth and ears They are more likely to notice problems before something goes wrong. My wife does something similar. Whenever we are preparing to walk out of the door for a trip, she verbally calls out the most essential items in her packaging list. I've got my keys, I've got my wallet, I've got my glasses, I've got my husband. The more automatic a behavior becomes, it less likely we are consciously thinking about it. And when we have done something as a thousand times, we begin to overlook things. We assume that the next time will be just like the last. We are so used to doing. Wasn't I speaking? I started to read it in my mind. Many of our failures in performance are largely attributable to lack of self-awareness. One of our saddest challenges in changing habits is maintaining awareness of what we are actually doing. This helps explain why the conscious consequences of bad habits can sneak up on us. We need a point and call system for our personal life. This is the origin of habit scorecard, which is simple exercise you can use to become more aware of a habit. To create your own, make a list of your daily habits. Here is a sample of where your list might start. Wake up, turn off alarm, check my phone, go to bathroom, weigh myself, take a shower, brush my teeth, floss my teeth, put a deodorant, hang up the towel to dry, get dressed, make a cup of tea, and so on. Once you have a full list, look at each behavior and ask yourself, is this a good habit or a bad habit? A good habit, a bad habit, or a neutral habit? If it's good, write plus next to it. If it's bad, write minus. If it's neutral, write equal to. Um, I'm not feeling well, I'm going to sleep. No man, I have to complete this. For example, the list above might look like this. Wake up is equal to, turn off the alarm is equal to, check my phone minus, go to the bathroom is equal to, weigh myself plus, take a shower plus. Weigh myself plus, take a shower plus, brush my teeth plus, floss my teeth plus, put a deodorant plus, hang up towel to dry equal to, get dressed equal to, make a cup of tea plus. To mark you, the marks you give to a particular habit will depend on your situation and your goals. For someone who is trying to lose weight, eating a bagel with peanut butter every morning might be a bad habit. For someone who is trying to bulk up and add muscle, the same behavior might be a good habit. It all depends on what you are working towards. Scoring your habits and can be a bit more complex for another reason. Scoring another reason as well. The labels good habit and bad habit are slightly inaccurate. There is no good habits or bad habits. There are only effective habits. This is effective at solving. That is effective at solving problems. All habits serve you in some way, even bad ones. This is why you repeat them. For this exercise, categorize your habits by how they will become benefit how by how they will benefit you in the long run. Generally speaking, good habits will have net positive outcomes, bad habits have net negative outcomes. Smoking a cigarette may reduce stress right now, but that's not a healthy long term behavior. If you are still having trouble determining how to rate a particular habit, here is a question I like to use. Does this behavior help me become the type of person I really wish to be? Does this habit cast a vote for or against my desired identity? Habits that reinforce your desired identity are usually good. Habits that conflict with your desired identity are usually bad. Usually bad. As you create your habit scorecard, there is no need to change anything at first. The goal is to simply notice what is actually going on. Observe your thoughts and actions without judgment or internal criticism. Don't blame yourself for your faults. Don't praise yourself for your success. If you eat a chocolate bar every morning, acknowledge it almost as if you were watching someone else. Oh, how interesting that they would do such a thing. If you binge eat, simply notice that you are eating more calories than you should. If you waste time online, notice that you are spending your life in a way that you don't want to. The first step to change bad habits is to be the one lookout for them. Is to be on the lookout for them. If you feel like you need extra help, you can try pointing and calling in your own life. Say out loud the action that you are thinking and taking and what the outcome will be. Yeah, that's nice. Should I underline this? No, I won't. Because it will make my book dirty. I don't want to do that. What's dirty, man? It's my book. Say out loud the action that you are thinking and taking and what the outcome will be. If you want to cut back your junk food habit but you notice yourself grabbing another cookie, say out loud, I'm about to eat this cookie but I don't need it. Eating it will cause me to gain weight and hurt my health. Then I will not eat it. Yes, that's correct. Hearing your bad Hearing your bad habits spoken aloud makes the consequences seem more real. It adds weight to the action rather than letting yourself mindlessly slip into an old routine. This approach is useful even if you are simply trying to remember a task on your to-do list. Just saying out loud, tomorrow I need to go to the post office after lunch increases the odds that you will actually do it. You are getting yourself to acknowledge the need for action, and that can make all the difference. The process of behavior change always starts with awareness. Strategies like pointing and calling and habit scorecard are focused on getting you to recognize your habits and acknowledge the cues that triggered them, which makes it possible to respond in a way that benefits you. Chapter summary. With enough practice, your brain will pick up the cues that predict certain outcomes without consciously thinking about it. With enough practice, your brain will pick up the cues that predict certain outcomes without consciously thinking about it. Pick up the cues that predict certain outcomes without consciously. So you'll take action without thinking about them because your brain is habitual to it. That's what this means, right? With enough practice. Once our habit has become automatic, we stop paying attention to what we are doing. The process of behavior change always starts with awareness. Okay, you need to be aware of your habits before you can change them. So you need to be aware of even good habits. That's what he's trying to say. And bad habits as should be. It's an unsaid rule. Pointing and calling raises your level of awareness from a non-conscious habit to a more conscious level by verbalizing your actions. The habit scorecard is a simple exercise you can use to become more aware of your behavior. I finished chapter 4. I am on 5th chapter. The best way to start a new habit. That's a good chapter, I think. How much time is left? It's 1.5 minutes left. I'll just try to upload this into my laptop, or I'll upload it directly from my phone only. No need to upload that here, right? I'll see what I have to do. Until then, goodbye, see you soon. And we read up to page number 67. This is just for the thumbnail, just so you know.